Do chakras exist? And do they hold a power for your life? If you've come to this question, do chakras exist? In a time like this question is especially relevant and important because you've asked it. In a time like this, when the economy is bad and struggles with finances are everywhere, in a time like this when you may be struggling with your own health due to the fact that viruses are mutating faster than ever, due to the fact that there's more chemical, environmental toxins and pollutions everywhere, as well as the fact that there's more travel and transport between man from one region of the world to a totally different region of the world, and livestock from one region of the world to a totally different region of the world. Your health is under attack more than ever now. And if during this time of hardship you've been able to take a step out of your life to look for that one angle, that one perspective, that one glimmer of an epiphany that makes you say, ah, that's how I can make my life just a little easier. If you've been able to do that, you may have come across the question, is there an esoteric, ancient secret that the pharaohs, that emperors knew, that made them so powerful? Is there a secret, an ancient, mystical secret that can make me powerful over my life? If you've asked that question, you've already meditated on the answer. But if you've looked for the answer, especially in terms of chakras, you may be even more confused than when you started. About chakras you will hear, she continuously goes through broken hearts because her heart chakra is too open. He can never get married and never fall in love because his heart chakra is too closed. She has an eating disorder and is overweight because her stomach chakra is too open. He has stomach ulcers and gastric acid reflux because his stomach chakra is too closed. Well, which is it? Doesn't seem like you can win either way. So if you do more research on it and read books written by the masters, the gurus and yogis, or more fairly their students, you'll hear arguments. Is the heart chakra pink? Or is it red? Is it orange? Can you actually see the color of a chakra? If so, why so many disagreements on what color it is? What about something more basic, the second chakra? What's the physical organ for the second chakra? Is it the reproductive organs or is it the spleen? Google it right now. There's a lot of debate on the subject. So, in your pursuit of finding a way to make your life more enjoyable, less of a struggle, you may have fallen into a completely new set of struggles in just deciphering this ancient supposed wisdom. Well, let's start from the basics. Do chakras even exist? Number one. First of all, the word chakra is not an English word. It's a Sanskrit word. And the Sanskrit has so many beautiful, flowering intonations, implications, and subtleties, nuances to the language, that when you say the word chakra, it means wheel. And doesn't it sound like a carriage, a wooden wheel being drawn behind the horse? Chakra, chakra, chakra. Means wheel. And it also carries with it the implication and the meaning of radiant energy, something that spins. So, let me ask you, do wheels exist? Does radiation exist? Does spinning exist? Yes, yes, and yes. Do chakras exist? Yes. If you go further east, into the Orient, the same concept existed, still exists, and it's called chawan. Chawan. The word chawan carries with it an extra dimension of meaning. Fascinatingly, it also implies dimension. So not only do you have a wheel spinning one-dimensionally, the wheel also spins this way, and the wheel also spins this way. In fact, tying in Kabbalistic Judaism, in the book of Ezekiel, in the Bible that most Westerners have, there is a depiction of something called the Merkaba, or God's chariot. And it is a wheel within a wheel that has multiple dimensions and can go anywhere. So the concept of chakra, concept of spinning, wheel, multidimensional energy that radiates has existed for thousands, if not millennia, of years. Across cultures, across languages, across religious, various families, backgrounds, it's existed. So what does it mean? What did the ancients know that we've lost? Of all the research you've done, of all the hearsay you've heard, you'll find that one thing remains consistent across every tribe, every nation, every language, every culture. Everyone agrees with one thing, that there are 7 chakras. Even in the Judeo-Christian tradition, in the book of Revelation, now that you know that chakra means radiating energy from a center, spinning radiant clusters of energy. Even in the book of Revelation, there are 7 clusters, 7 congregations of energy. Why 7? Did some charismatic leader, did some religious leader, did some emperor all of a sudden make it popular that there would be 7 total congregations, 7 total chakras, 7 total dimensions, and they're placed along the spine of the body? Everyone agrees, no matter what research you've done. Why is that, and how is that? Why the number 7? And why is it that each of the 7 compartments, each of the 7 dimensions, each of the 7 chakras, each of the 7 wheels of your body, of radiant energy, correspond to a specific part of your life? You'll find that if you do further research, for instance, anything material that you own corresponds to your stomach chakra. Anything that you feel emotionally, well, this is easy. You intuitively know this. You don't have to read it from a book. Corresponds to your heart chakra. Why is that? How does it work? And how does your body relate to different parts of your life? I'll tell you quite simply. The second chakra, if you have trouble with your lower back, if your lower back is always off, and tense and tight, that means that you have reproductive issues. Reproductive in a sexual way, reproductive in a societal way. But you have a hard time keeping your promises. You have a hard time going to work. You have a hard time going to work on time, being to work on time. You have a hard time paying bills on time. If you have muscle pain in your lower back, it becomes very easy to know and see the chakras if you understand their relationship to the body. How does it work? What about the other 7 chakras, and why 7? It's really easy. Test it out for yourself. Take 10,000 little scrap pieces of paper and write down everything about your life, everything you can think of, from your hopes, your dreams, your left big toenail, to your right eyeball, to your girlfriends, your memories, your job, your bills, your car, your health, the fact that you remember 1 + 1 = 2, 2 times 2 = 4, the fact that you remember that pi equals 3.14. Put all these things down individually, every single thing you can think of individually, and you'll see why the number 7. Put it all down on a piece of paper, on the floor. After you've done 3,000-4,000 little scrap pieces of paper on the floor with miscellaneous different things, you take a step back, you look down, and something fantastic happens. You start noticing clusters. That the car that you own tends to gravitate towards the concept of the jacket that you own, tends to even concentrate and gravitate toward the body that you own, your body, your car, your jacket. Everything that's three-dimensional can fit in a box. Your body fits in a box called the room, the house. Car fits in a box as well, called the garage. Your watch, your jacket, your clothes also fit in boxes. You'll find that they cluster together. Everything that you hate, everything that you love, all your joys, all your fears, they tend to also cluster together. Everything that you feel, all your emotions. After you're done clustering everything together, your meals that you eat, reproduction of societal responsibilities, reproducing your job task, reproducing your bill paying, reproducing babies through sex, you'll find that all those things cluster together as well. And after you're done with clustering and clumping everything together, you'll find that once again there are 7 congregations. There are 7 chakras that you have to spin like plates to keep them all in the air, to keep them all working. That's just the way things are. That's why the number 7. Then, when you take a further step back and you just breathe it in, look at it, you'll notice that some things are more complex than others. Some things are actually dependent on something else happening first, out of the 7. And then you think, what doesn't depend on anything happening first? And you'll notice that one of those clusters fits first. You organize them in order of complexity. And you'll find that one cluster is a lot easier to accomplish than another cluster. And the next cluster is even easier to accomplish than that. So you start organizing them down by the most complex concepts all the way down to the simplest concepts. And you'll find that the 7 congregations, the 7 clusters, the 7 wheels, the 7 dimensions align perfectly in one line. And then you'll notice that one requires the last one before it can occur. Requires the last one before it can occur, requires the last one before it can occur, requires the last one before it can occur, down the line, 7 times. And this is what you'll find. You'll find that the cluster that doesn't require anything is the root, the base. And it is Earth. It is your connection to your ancestors, your connection to your history. These are all things that existed and occurred before you. These are all things that you simply had by virtue of existing. These are things that ground you. These are things that you depend on for your stability and your solidity. Orphans have a hard time because they don't have that kind of familial tie. It's harder for them to develop. Interestingly, the root, just like a tree, is also where you expel toxins and you get your grounding, your rooting, your centeredness. Where you expel toxic food that you've eaten 4, 5, 6 hours ago. Expel toxic thoughts like, I'm worthless, I'll never amount to anything, I'm stupid, I'm an idiot. Where you expel toxic ideas, even scientific beliefs such as the world is flat. Where you expel that, such as anything that's scientific. No one can do the 4-minute mile. Where you expel these toxic thoughts and beliefs, preconceived notions that are widely accepted by society and everyone else, you expel them so that you can move on to the next chakra, which is reproduction. Think about it. If your bladder is full, if your bowel is full, can you have sex? No. If you're full of stupid scientific falsehoods, can you actually reproduce a light bulb? Oh, it's impossible to make a candle burn inside a vacuum? Inside a glass tube? That's stupid. No one can do that. Edison did. Only because he expelled the toxic beliefs. You have to let go of your crap before you can reproduce consistently. Now, once you've reproduced consistently, all the things that you do, your bills that you reproduce consistently, your job that you reproduce consistently. Now you have a paycheck. You reproduce your bills consistently. Now you have good credit. You reproduce eating consistency. Now you have a strong, healthy body. You reproduce sleeping consistently. You reproduce washing yourself consistently. You have a healthy, hygienic body. You reproduce going to work. Now you've got a three-dimensional house, three-dimensional car, third chakra. And you'll notice that when you have all of these things in fine order, fine array, you actually feel good. Not about the possessions, but about your accomplishment. You actually feel joy, you feel happiness, you feel, fourth chakra. Now you're ready to fall in love. If you don't have the third chakra, if you don't have a healthy body, can you fall in love? Fourth chakra. If you don't have a car that's in good repair, third chakra, can you actually take a girl out on a date? Fourth chakra. No. If you don't have material, financial, three-dimensional, if you don't have a home, can you feel security? No. One is dependent on the next, and the next is more complex vastly than the last. If you don't feel good, can you actually go to the next level of, you know that 2 plus 2 is 4, 2 times 2 is 4, 2 to the power of 2 is 4. All this knowledge. Can you acquire any knowledge? Can you pay any attention to anything that your professor, your teacher, your mentor teaches you unless you have an emotional solid base first? Can you? No. Goes in and out. Then, can you, unless you have so much knowledge, open up your third eye chakra and become wise in the way that you put on one of these little note pieces of paper that your mom was upstairs running the bath. You ran downstairs. You opened up the fridge. You picked the milk carton up, put it to your face, and you hear your mom screaming from upstairs with the water running, "Don't drink the milk straight out of the carton." Wow. Wisdom. Wisdom so intense, she might as well be a spirit. She might as well be a ghost. She has eyes in the back of her head. How does she know that? Because she has so much experience, knowledge. Because she has the ability to love and feel happy enough to pay attention to you. Because she fell in love with your dad. Because he was able to provide for her, provide a home, provide security, provide a healthy living environment. Because they reproduced the action of dating together. They reproduced the action of getting to know each other. And they finally reproduced you. You see how one is dependent on the next? And this is how it goes on and on up until the 7th chakra. You see, if you are looking for power in your life, and you have an emotional block, you're frustrated, you're depressed, you're angry all the time, where to start is the chakra underneath that, the third chakra. You look at the third chakra and say, all the material things that I have, are they in good array? Do I have a sound physical, material, three-dimensional foundation for my happiness? If you don't, then go to the chakra underneath that, the second, reproductive chakra. Am I reproducing my actions, my responsibilities, my promises, faithfully, consistently? Because if you are, then you are going to have the material things, and you are then going to have the ability to feel good about yourself. If you're not, at the second chakra, producing actions and reproducing actions that yield something, for the third chakra above it, three-dimensional chakra, then you look at the chakra beneath the second one, the first chakra, and you ask, what am I holding on to? Am I holding on to some belief that I'm stupid, I'm an idiot, I'll never amount to anything? Let go of your crap. That's where you start. This is the secret of the chakras.